I deeply regret divorcing my husband, convinced I was destined for something greater. It's been 10 years, and my ex has moved on with a stunning new wife who's taken my place in my son's life and my former role. Meanwhile, I'm still alone, trapped in a dead-end job, and life feels painfully unfair. Back in my early 30s, I ended my marriage, not because of infidelity or cruelty, but because I thought I could upgrade. Our marriage was solid, even wonderful, until our son arrived. Everything shifted after his birth. At first, motherhood felt like a dream come true, the life I'd always imagined. But soon, the weight of it all, sleepless nights, endless chores, a crying infant, and feeling confined, started to crush me. I began resenting my husband, not for any specific wrong, but because he could escape to work each day. He interacted with other adults, enjoyed lunch breaks, and returned home free from the relentless grind I faced. I expected him to take on more when he got home, and though he tried, it never felt like enough. I wanted him to anticipate my needs, to do more without being asked, no matter how tired he was. I used his devotion to me as leverage, expecting him to bend to my every whim. Instead of reverting to the man who once adored me, he grew weary, depleted. His exhaustion angered me. I started throwing around divorce threats during arguments, hoping to jolt him into proving his love. But he just became withdrawn, saying he understood we were both struggling with the demands of parenthood and wanted to fix things. By then, I'd convinced myself I deserved more, a wealthier, more exciting partner. I was 30, still attractive, and had shed the baby weight. I saw my friends living carefree lives, partying, traveling, dating intriguing men, and felt I was squandering my potential. So, I walked away, certain I'd be happier, that I'd fall in love again soon and live the life I was meant for. I kept our house in the divorce and shared custody of our son, thinking I'd won. Now, at 41, I see how terribly I miscalculated. My ex-husband, also 41, is happily remarried to a 31-year-old who's breathtakingly beautiful, someone who turns heads effortlessly. It stings to see her. They have a 3-year-old daughter, and he bought a stunning new home, far grander than the one I kept. The worst part? My son loves it there. He adores his dad's house, playing with his little sister, and most painfully, his stepmother. He raves about her, how she bakes with him, takes him on adventures, and treats him kindly. She's living the life that was once mine, my husband, my son, my family. And me? I'm alone. I've gained weight. My face shows lines, and my body isn't what it was. Dating has been a string of fleeting disappointments. Men my age chase younger women or carry too much baggage. It's infuriating how easily men seem to move on post-divorce. My ex found a radiant younger wife, while being a single mom in my 40s feels like a curse in the dating world. Beyond romance, I don't recognize myself anymore. I used to be confident, vibrant, like the world was mine to conquer. Now, I feel invisible, past my prime. Dropping my son off at his dad's, where his flawless stepmother greets me, makes me feel worthless by comparison, like I'm fading while she shines. My therapist suggested focusing on things that spark joy, like a makeover to boost my confidence. I tried a new haircut, but it didn't help. No matter what, I'm still a middle-aged woman, no longer able to turn heads. It's crushing. I go through the motions, work at my uninspiring job, return to an empty house, and wait for my son to come back from his dad's idyllic family. I used to have dreams, goals, a zest for life. Now, I'm just surviving. People don't talk enough about how isolating it is to be a single woman in her 40s. Men don't see me the same way, and even my friends, mostly married or coupled, treat me like a pitiable loner. I feel out of place in their world of couples. The hardest part is pretending I'm okay. I force smiles when my son gushes about his dad's house or how wonderful his stepmother is. I swallow my resentment when he talks about his cool little sister. It's humiliating to feel replaced in your own child's life. He still loves me, I know, but he has 2 worlds now, and his dad's feels richer, happier. When I had full custody, I was his everything. Now, I'm a supporting character. My ex is flourishing while I'm withering. And I can't even hate him. He was a good husband and father. I'm the one who left. I think back to the 30-year-old me, so arrogant, so sure I could trade up. I want to scream at her, tell her she's not untouchable, that she'll wake up at 41 regretting throwing away a good man. But it's too late. This is my reality now. A dead-end job, a silent house, and weekends waiting for my son to return from his real family. People say to put yourself out there, try new hobbies, or focus on my son. I've tried, but it doesn't erase the loss. Society sells divorce as empowering, but for me, it's a wound that won't heal. I'd give anything to have my old life back, my marriage, my family, my son's singular home. Instead, I'm left in this house, once full of warmth, living with the fallout of my choices, and it's unbearable. Comments. Comment 1. It sounds like your regret stems from seeing your ex thrive while you haven't. If he were struggling and single like you, would you feel this way? Be honest. Your fixation on his new wife suggests jealousy, not love for him. You don't miss him. You miss being the one who came out on top. Life isn't a race. You made a choice, and now you're facing the consequences. Accept it and move forward. Comment 2. I understand. Society feeds women the lie that we have endless time, that we'll always be wanted, that we can leave and find something better. But that's not reality. You're not a villain for feeling this way. You're human, and humans err. The pain is real, but your life isn't over. You can't reclaim the past, but you can build a new future. Don't let the next decade be consumed by regret over the last one. Second story. I fought my cousin. After she demanded my engagement ring, mocking my appearance and bragging about her proposal. Now my family is split. I've been hooked on Reddit story videos on YouTube and decided to share my own drama. English isn't my first language, so bear with me. I'll keep it concise but detailed. This happened 3 months ago. My boyfriend and I decided to get married, but he wanted a proper proposal. We went to a simple dinner, not extravagant, and he asked me to marry him. I said yes, overjoyed. The ring he chose was pricey, with a large central diamond and smaller ones around it. It's relevant to the story, but honestly, I'd have been happy with a plastic ring. I'm marrying the love of my life, and that's what matters. A few days later, my cousin posted an "I said yes" announcement on Instagram. I called to congratulate her, and she immediately launched into boasting about her lavish proposal, on a yacht, with live music and pricey wine, mentioned repeatedly. She suggested we meet up with our 2 other female cousins, something we do every few months, to celebrate both our engagements. I agreed, hosting at my place. I prepared everything, expecting her to pitch in since it was for both of us, but she didn't. At my house, the 4 of us sat in the living room. My cousin retold her proposal story, which we'd all heard before, but we listened, assuming she was just excited. Then she complained her diamond ring wasn't her style, saying she wanted something more fitting. She asked about my proposal in a patronizing tone. I explained it was a low-key dinner, perfect for me since I don't like grand gestures. My other cousins found it sweet, knowing my preferences, but she smirked and said, "Guess he spent all his money on that ring," pointing at it judgmentally. No wonder it wasn't special. If you hadn't focused on a big diamond, maybe you'd have had a night like mine. I was stunned. My cousins exchanged awkward glances. I explained I didn't care about flashy events and that my fiancé chose the ring himself, and I'd love any ring he gave me. She smirked again, saying, "Why don't we trade then, since you don't care?" I thought she was joking, laughed, and said, "Sure, why not? It's just a ring." I was still processing her audacity. She laughed and said, "It'd look better on me anyway. Your fingers are too chunky." I'm plus-sized, and her jab at my weight, already a sore spot, stung. One of our older cousins, sensing my anger, changed the topic to wedding plans. I thought the ring issue was done. My cousin bragged about her dream wedding, while I said we planned a small ceremony to save for a European honeymoon. She chuckled, saying, "No need to pretend, sweetie. It's okay if you can't afford a fancy wedding." I snapped, saying someone who could buy a big ring could afford a lavish wedding, but we didn't want one, unlike her tacky horse-drawn carriage idea. It escalated into us trading barbs while our cousins tried to mediate. Eventually, they left, but she stayed to help clean, though she barely did, continuing to needle me. After cleaning, she stood there expectantly. When I asked what she wanted, she said she was waiting for my ring. She was serious. She thought I'd trade engagement rings. I was floored, explaining I was joking and would never give up my engagement ring, not for its cost, but its meaning. She flipped out, yelling that I'd promised in front of our cousins, accusing me of lying to seem less selfish. I told her no sane person would demand someone's engagement ring. She insisted she wasn't taking mine. She'd give me hers, claiming my ring suited her better and looked cheap with my low-budget style. I'd had enough and told her to leave and cut contact. She refused, screaming that I'd misled her, ruined her vision, and that my fiancé would dump my fat, unattractive self for someone better. That hit my insecurities hard. Before I knew it, I slapped her. She didn't back down, and we ended up in a brief scuffle in my kitchen. Thankfully, my fiancé came home, heard the yelling, and separated us. She claimed I attacked her unprovoked and wanted my ring because I hated mine. My fiancé, knowing me after 5 years together, didn't buy it. I explained over her shrieking, and he threatened to call the police if she didn't leave. She kept accusing me but eventually stormed out, cursing us. She told her parents I tried to steal her ring and attacked her when she refused. They believed her, causing a rift between her mom and mine, who no longer speak. My other cousins think I'm right but are still her bridesmaids. I'll never forget that day. TLDR. My cousin envied my engagement ring and asked to trade, jokingly at first. I played along thinking it was a jest. She later demanded my ring, insulted my weight and appearance, and said my fiancé would leave me. I slapped her, we fought, and she accused me of attacking her. Our families are now divided. Third story. My sister assumed my venue was family property and planned her wedding, there without telling me. I stopped her, and my mom tanked my business with fake reviews. I'm 25, my older sister is 29, and I have an 8-year-old younger sister. At 14, my mom sent me to live with my grandparents, claiming they needed help, but I think she just didn't want to handle a teenage boy. My grandparents owned a breathtaking mountain property with stunning views, horses, and other animals. They were well off and passed away 4 years ago, leaving me the property because I valued it most. My mom and sisters inherited cash and assets worth more than the land. Over the past 4 years, I turned part of the property into a popular wedding venue, an idea my grandparents supported. We're booked 8 months out. My sister got engaged 1.5 years ago and said she didn't want to wed at my venue. I told her if she changed her mind, to give me a date early to reserve it. She never did, despite my follow-ups. 2 weeks ago, I received her wedding invitation, listing my property as the venue for September. I called her immediately, explaining the date was booked and unavailable. She, my mom, their allies, and her fiancé's family bombarded me with calls and posted fake negative reviews about my business. I begged them to stop and told my sister all she needed was to share her date early, and I'd have handled everything. She accused me of sabotaging her big day, insisting the property was family-owned, and she'd already sent invitations. She demanded I cancel the other couple's booking. They'd reserved over a year ago, and I like them, claiming family trumps all. After heated arguments, I switched to communicating through my business's recorded line and email, offering 3 alternative dates. She rejected them, calling me spiteful. I'm documenting everything. I'm considering meeting the booked couple to explain and offering a discount or extra security. My little sister, who loves my horses and has a good bond with me, might help me gather info on my older sister's plans. TLDR. I own a popular wedding venue. My sister planned her wedding there without reserving a date, sending invitations for a booked day. I refused to cancel the other couple's reservation, so she and my mom trashed my business with fake reviews. I'm called selfish, but I offered solutions she ignored. Update, 3 weeks later. Thanks for the overwhelming support. It's been eye-opening. I left out some family history for brevity. I didn't ask my little sister to spy, but she helped anyway. I didn't cancel the other couple's booking. Instead, I invited them to the property and dinner, explained the situation, and offered extra security, a guest list requirement, a contact person for guests, and a discount. They agreed. My lawyer sent cease-and-desist letters to my sister, mom, and others posting fake reviews, which didn't go over well. I clarified to them the property is mine, not family property, and they're banned from showing up on the booked date. I offered solutions, but they refused. My little sister found the guest list on my older sister's open computer and sent it to me. I contacted all RSVPs, clarifying the venue wasn't reserved for her wedding. The groom called, shocked, saying she'd told his family it was handled and had known the date for over a year. He apologized and said he's reconsidering things. Now it's eerily quiet, which worries me. My sister's silence often means trouble's brewing. I'll update when things settle. I'm keeping my venue anonymous to protect my privacy, and I'm in North America. Thanks for the review offers, but I want to earn my reputation fairly. Please be kind and compassionate to others. TL. DR. I shut down my sister's unreserved wedding plans at my venue. The other. Our couple is secured with added measures. The groom's rethinking the wedding. Things are quiet, but I'm bracing for more drama. Verdict, not the jerk. Relevant comments. Commenter 1. Your mom probably convinced her it's family property she can use anytime. OP. No doubt my mom's behind it. She believes what's mine is hers, too. Commenter 2. Your sister and mom should know better. Her not giving you a date, despite your efforts, screams entitlement, not sibling duty. OP. My sister didn't raise me. I was mostly on my own from age 10 until I moved. She only left home 4 years ago. Commenter 3. Does she have caterers, a menu, officiant, DJ, or deposits booked? Or did she expect you to handle and pay for it all? OP. I don't know. I need to confirm if anything's booked for that day and talk to the couple. I'll try to get details from my little sister.